Okay, everybody, I am back. I was in the center of creating the waves for this photo. As you notice, I've done a little bit of visionary wave here going toward the ocean, and I wanted to, go back and accentuate it because it's really not as straight as I want it to be, but you get the idea. And I'll go back and fine tune it later, but there's the idea of the waves. So I was working on, if you notice, I'm working on the waves here. So as you see, I'm just going all the way across, accentuating the waves, making them look more normal. And everybody has waves that you do, so you just have to do this. The waves, as you see, I'm just creating a few waves going working shore blade. Waves are not hard to do, are easy to do. So, and for this, like here, my goal was to just make a few not like the ones going really heavy up there. In Big Bear, California, believe it or not, as sunny as California is, Big Bear can get up to 3 to 4 feet of snow in the middle of April and May. So just a little bit of history on it. We used to go up and camp in April, and we drive 600 feet up and in the mountains. And in the meantime, in LA, it's 95 degrees, and in the mountains, it's like 20 degrees or 30 degrees or 15 degrees. So Big Bear Mountain is in California, and it's always there, and it's a big tourist attraction up there. So when people go to California, the last thing they're thinking about is a mountain. But people who live in California and they're from Colorado, they actually just love that mountain. They love the mountain because they get, the best of both worlds in the middle of the year. So this scene is Big Bear, California again, and which I love Big Bear. It's one of my favorite places in the whole world. I'd rather go to Big Bear than Aspen, Colorado, honestly. Big Bear is just a real quiet place. It's right up near Simi Valley. It's real close to Simi Valley, California. It's up there. It's up in those mountains, very high up there. So like a little city up there. They've got stores and, now they've got movie theaters. I haven't been there since the early 90s, late 80s, and I was there, but now it's, whoa. My husband, I wasn't married at the time, but, we married after we left California. But anyway, so here you are. You have I created the waves going across the water. Those are not my ideal colors of what I wanted it to look like. I wanted to create a little bit more water, a little bit more, see how I'm doing that? I'm topping the waves off with a little, hardcore water with the foam that kind of creates at the top of the water. Okay, you see how I'm doing it? I'm just creating a little foam at the top of the wave. Give it a realization. I have an organization called KidSake Foundation. It's been around for about 7, 8 years. And I work real closely with the Children's Hospital of Dallas is one of the donators, the Children's Cancer Ward. I've been with them for years. And I'm hoping to get some of my photos or some of my drawings in the hospital on the floors. I'm going to be donating some of the paintings to the hospital. So as you see how I did that, I just kind of created a few waves going toward the ocean. The water looks really realistic here. It's not the best wave I've done, but it's decent. So what you do is, when you put that water at the top, that foam at the top, see how I'm doing it? Then you just pull it down. Pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. And so see how I'm just keep working at it? That's why paintings take so long, because you're really trying to create the scene and you don't want to overshadow things and you want things to look really normal. And so you create this thing, and then you just work at it. You just work at it. See how I'm doing that? You just keep working at it a little bit until you just get it. And if you notice, my water is a really interesting color. I want to put a little white there. Oh my God, that's not white. Okay, I'm back with the white, accentuating the white still, the foamy white on the on top of the waves. As normal. You want it to look really authentic, so you just work at it. Just keep working at it and you'll get it. All of these videos are on YouTube. And they're under Koki Bear or Jane Huff. Lulu's Art, sorry. It's under Lulu's Art on YouTube. You can type in Lulu's Art and you can get a lot of the little tutorials I do for my paintings. And I do these just for portfolio reasons. And so, there we have it, which is making the waves look normal as can be. Not overcompensating here, but okay. And as far as the sunset behind the hills, I wanted to go back in there and do a little bit more with that because, I just felt like it could be a little bit brighter. So, not making it too bright, but, sometimes some colors just don't do it for you. And I just wanted a little bit more yellowish orange or yellow in there. So I took a yellow paint, as you notice, gold, not even yellow, gold, and I went back around the mountains again. So what I'm trying to create is, as you see, I'm just making the mountains a little bit more brighter. As though the sun is setting right behind it, right behind the mountains, which is really a beautiful scene in Big Bear. Really pretty. Really pretty. Because in the daytime, the sun is so bright up there. It's just like glaring bright. And so, my last thing to do is, and I know this is going to look weird, but I wanted to, okay, so just because it is Big Bear and there's always snow on the mountains this time of year, I'm going to create a little bit of snow up here. A little bit of snow on these golden, beautiful golden mountains. See how I'm going down and down and down and down. So I'm creating a little snow on the mountains because it is Big Bear and it is spring in Big Bear. So I have a very unusual color I mixed up. I mixed a little gray and white to get this because I didn't want it to be too much snow. Well, I didn't want it to be, because the snow is starting to melt in the spring, so I didn't want it to be heavy snow, just like it just started snowing or something up there. So, I do have an idea, though, that may work. Well, I could do that. I think I'm going to just go ahead and overshadow the mountains with the snow instead of doing the yellow. I just don't like the yellow. Don't ask me why. I don't like the gold. So I do that a lot. If I don't like a color, I'll just go ahead and overshadow it with the true color that I want. And of course, we have to overcompensate with this because yellow is a really thick color. So I'm making sure that I'm putting enough white in these corners to cover that yellow. That sunset just didn't look like I wanted it to look, so I'm going back. And we artists, we do this a lot. Sometimes we'll just get it wrong. We just get the color wrong, and then we want to go back, and sometimes you make a complete mess. But just so happen this color is bright, so I can just go back over it and see how I'm filling in the mountains. I'm filling in the snow on the mountains, and I'm going down with it. Okay? And so I'm just really just filling in the snow on the mountains. See it? And it didn't create a mess because, snow is white, of course, so it's going to have no fault here. And then it gets into, excuse me, it gets into more of a Christmassy color at that point, And this is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a snowy mountain. I didn't want the sunset to overshadow that really pretty color I was trying to get. So, see it? So we have the mountain with the snow on it in the fall or spring, and in Big Bear in the summer, or actually spring, it is snow on the mountains. And then, around 10 o'clock a.m., the sun comes out. And that's the scene I'm trying to create, that if you live in Colorado, lots of people don't know this about Denver or the state of Colorado. In Guinness Book of World Records, Colorado has the most sunny days than any state in the whole United States, even Florida and California. So that gives you more an idea that Big Bear probably comes in about second, because Big Bear, even though it snows up there about 3 or 4 months a year, it's not snowing all day. And the snow melts around 10, just like in Denver. The snow starts melting. I don't care if it's 0 degrees at night. During the day, the snow just started melting and melting and melting. And so, it's a whole different thing. So, okay, here we go. So, what I'm doing now is just bringing that snow off the mountains, just really lightly down the mountain. As though it's kind of melting, but not melting. Because after all, y'all, it is Big Bear, California, so you never know what you're going to see up there. So, and like I said, we went up there, and I just love it. It's one of my favorite vacation spots in the world. It's very expensive up there, though. Like a bag of potato chips might be $2, but it's very, very beautiful. The scenery is gorgeous up there. So there you have it. It's snow on Big Bear Mountain in California in the winter, fall. And it's actually really gorgeous. And I want to accentuate those spots that look like they're just showing through. Like those spots right there, just kind of get them heavy. And up there where the orange was, let's make sure that yellow orange is covered up there. Okay, closer look. It's Big Bear Mountain in the fall. I'm going to go back up at the top of the mountain and make sure it's really snowy and bright up there, So hang tight. God, it's got to be. What the fudge is that coloring?